That's really cool. I have never seen that ever.
It's like your basic number 6 or 7 kind of
shot?
turkey shot. Bird shot. Yes, sir.
Take your screwdriver. Right now this is on 2700. You'll turn this and you'll see the light change.
That's really amazing. That we're probably going to be able to have a hard time keeping in stock.
Yeah!
This is the slam grabber here.
Good morning, you guys. It's the start of a new day, a new video, a new adventure. We're in Coral View, Iowa, and we're going to be checking out a conference called the Build It Conference. Now, why they call this town Coral View, Iowa, I don't really know. I don't know how many corals you're going to view actually in Iowa. Maybe they should call it Corn View, Iowa. But with that being said, hopefully we're going to be able to find some really cool new tools, gear, equipment. I don't know what we're going to find. I don't even know if we're going to find where this venue is at. But let's go inside now and get this video started. All right, guys, I want to introduce you to Amanda. Amanda's the one that actually invited me out here.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. So she told me something that's really cool that I had no clue about this conference.
Yeah, so we don't charge anyone to come. This is a benefit that's put on by the Kings of Midland brands.
Okay.
And we invite all of our contractors, engineers, specifiers, architects. It's a 2-day event. They are able to get credits for their AIA accreditation and visit with all of our awesome vendors here on the vendor floor.
Completely free.
Yeah, no one pays to attend.
That's
It's
really cool. I have never seen that ever.
I know. I have to say, like, our company really values our people, and that's not just our team members. That is our partners. You know, our contractors, our
But
architects.
who's our company? I don't get it.
Kings and Midland.
What is that?
We make hardscape products, and we also do ready mix concrete.
So you're like a private company, and you just put this on for anybody and everybody.
Yeah, for all of our customers. Yeah.
Dude.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Everyone should work with Kings.
Wow, that's really cool. All right, you guys, I'm with Phil, and I know Phil. We met a while ago. Phil's got a really interesting story. He's with Pave Tool, but he built all of these tools that we're looking at here. I want to show him something. Just check this out here, right here. This will lift up 3 blocks at a time. Any retaining wall blocks it'll hook into, and it'll pick them up. So now you can use an excavator or some
product, fast and furious. Yep.
And you designed that.
So a little history on Pave Tool. I started at 1985 Baylor Brothers. So Baylor Brothers are hardscape business.
Okay.
So we started that, and we used to plow snow. So first 10, 15 years to plow snow, like, we got really frustrated, realized we made money like only every 3rd year. So we stopped doing that, and we spent our winters cutting and torching tools to try to get our products into the ground fast and furious. So obviously our
to improve your
pain,
spring, summer, fall
biggest
business.
pain was pallet to pavement. So the pallet to pavement pain we tried to solve by creating tools plus systems equal greater efficiencies. So that's kind of what took off with the tools. So we started developing tools, and we were up to, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 tools that we had, and it actually was recognized by the owner of Block. So Charlie Ciccarello says, Phil, why are you still installing? He says, you need to get your tools in the hands of the installer. So 2006 and 7, I collaborated with Block, and we developed 8 tools that first year.
Yeah.
So the tools have just taken off, and as we see in the industry right now, you can't get help, you can't get labor.
Did you design this lifter, this vacuum lifter?
So this is a vacuum lifter, absolutely. So we designed this unit. It runs off a DeWalt battery. So 1-hour quick charge battery.
Were you the first one? Because there's a lot of them. Were you the first, or are you the knockoff?
I would say there's other systems out there.
Yep.
This one's very unique just because it runs off a DeWalt battery. Some of these units you got to bring inside. You got to charge them inside on a charger. Well, this is just simply in the field. Okay. So that was kind of the unique technology. This vacuum technology has been around for years.
Okay, so you used an existing system and improved upon it to create your own version of it. Nothing wrong with that.
And another unique thing is this has a system on it where you pull the bottom pin. Now that goes vertical. So this head can go vertical. So a lot of your big slab product is shipped to your job site vertical.
Right.
So this allows you to take vertical and then lay it horizontal and install it.
Okay, so you stick this on sideways, pick it up, and then you can drop it straight down.
Correct.
All right, check this out. Why? What are we looking
That's
at?
a tracer that's marking the other side. This is a radius template marker. Every piece of stone on a fire pit is going to be exact with that tool. You can do your dimension as far as the radius and your width. Super cool.
So you created the T-handle.
T-handle we created. That's a vacuum backpack unit.
So that
which is really cool.
that takes a one-man lift to 2.
Correct.
Okay.
In a simple, inexpensive way. So that's our adjustable drain. Very cool.
I did see that at another
That's
show.
that's really amazing. That we're probably gonna be able to have a hard time keeping in stock. It just one of them tools is like so simple. There's that grabber, the block grabber. So then we have the multi-block lift attachment, and I can hang up to 4. I literally could grab a whole pallet of like Versa-Lok, so I could grab all 4 rows of Versa-Lok, bring it over to my wall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back, grab a whole layer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a couple of things I will point out. I don't want you to give me credit for everything. So the orange tools are Optimus.
Okay.
So we actually got headhunted by Optimus, German company, the oldest company that produces tools for the hardscape industry.
Okay.
Optimus headhunted Pave Tool, and they wouldn't take no for an answer. They really wanted us to carry their products. So I have North America with the hardscape products of Optimus also.
Where do they
That's the
find you?
larger pay-related.
Where do they find you?
Pavetool.com.
Pavetool.com.
Thank you.
And that's Phil. All right. Well, thank you, Phil. Appreciate it. Yeah. So one of the things I just found out is they feed them too. They feed everybody that's here. So you just walk in, look at, walk in and you just
More up front, different types.
cool.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you. Introduce you to Jim. Jim, how are you, buddy?
Stan, not too bad, man.
Jim's been my friend 15,
Long
20
time.
years.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and I was friends with your dad before you.
Yep.
Yeah, so we go back a long way. Now, you guys know I'm a big Versa-Lok fan. You guys, I just want to be very straightforward with you. It's one block and nothing else. So let's look at this. This is, if you guys are into hardscaping, you can lift these. So they do have a lifter, but they're solid. They have pins, and then these pinholes right here, you drive a pin like this straight through it into the slot below, and that creates your connection. That creates your bond. And another thing to think about is it's one block and you're done. I make all my corners with the same block. I don't order a specialty block. You don't make a specialty block for corners. We make our own specialty blocks. You can make freestanding vertical walls with the same block by hammering the back off. You see this line right here? Take a chisel and hammer, knock that off, and you have a rough face finish on both the front and the back. And now you can build a freestanding wall with the same block. You can build the columns with the same block. You basically, so here's the columns with it. So you see that? Is that a Versa-Lok standard unit? Standard unit. So everything, you can do stairs. Everything that, and I don't mean to pick on the other guys, but everything that they do, you've got to have a specialty block because they're hollow. A lot of them are hollow. And once you try to split a hollow block, you've got that void space to deal with. You eliminated that whole thing. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Versa-Lok, why are you not available nationwide? Because there's guys all over, they're saying, I can't get them. What's going on with that? Where are you available?
Well,
like where? What's your geographical range?
So our Midwest region, we're heavily in the Midwest region. There are spots that we're not national, don't have national areas that are covered. But Midwest region, we're super strong. I know East Coast, we're strong.
Okay.
You know, so look us up online, and you can find out where the dealers are, where you can get the products. But that's, you know, it's not everywhere. So find a region, look us up online.
Okay. Okay, so we're at the Ready Rock booth. One of the things I mentioned before was bigger blocks, more production, and there's absolutely nothing that has changed about that. Yes, I do like the Versa-Lok stuff, but this is an awesome option. Here's the good, bad, and in between on these big blocks. Just gonna lay it straight out for you. This stuff is super expensive. I mean, the cost of this material is a lot more than the cost of a standard retaining wall block, but you're also getting a lot more material. You can buy a standard retaining wall block that I typically use for under $10 a square foot. These are double, triple, quadruple the price that I can get the other one. It just depends on what you're doing. But you're also faster when you lay these out. So you can hook these right here. They come with a hook. You can use an excavator, you can use a skid loader. You can pick these up and drop these down and set these into place. And you can get, depending on the size of the block, 6 square feet laid at a time with no manpower, one guy in a machine, one guy chaining and unchaining, and go, 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 go. You see this color? This is a drawback. They don't always have the color that you want. There's actually limited in colors, but here's where a lot of people are like, oh, you can stain them, you can seal them. Maintenance. Every time you do another step, that creates more labor and then more upkeep eventually. So there's good, bad, and in between about these larger blocks. But because of the lack of manpower, because there's just not as many people willing to work nowadays, a lot of guys need to go to a larger block. And customers are calling for them. So that's my 2 cents on the big blocks.
I'm not a salesman. I'm a warehouse manager / technical support.
I love. I'm like, hey Gary, is there any cool hand tools over? And he's like, not a salesman.
I'm not going to tell you what you all need to buy. I'm just going to show you how easy your job could be.
Is there something really cool? I mean, are these?
You know, for instance, slab grabber. It's one of the cheapest, awesome tool that you got to have.
Yeah, that's a kind of a requirement.
This is an excellent tool to have here. I mean, it's only $100, and
show me how you adjust it again. Right,
you can adjust it real quick and easy to adjust. You know, put the other on the side.
Oh, dude.
Real quick and easy. This is a slab grabber here. Real nice, easy, cheap tool.
Yeah. Guys, this is Patrick. He's actually the vice president of this organization that puts this on for free for everybody.
Yeah.
You don't charge for the breakout events.
Right.
You don't charge to get in the door.
That's correct.
Everything that is here is completely free, plus you give out beer.
We do. We do. And wine.
And wine. But can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you do this?
Yeah. So I think it's all about just connecting people together and trying to add value.
I like that. A rising tide raises all ships, Patrick.
Absolutely. Just growing the industry.
Thank you.
Glad you're here.
Yes.
Hey,
thanks for having me. So here we are at Aquascape, and if you guys don't know about it, about 2-3 weeks ago, I was actually at their training facility with my entire team because we want to start doing installs. I just attended Aquascape Academy, and it was some of the best business training that I've ever had. I'm not talking about for ponds. Yeah, I learned how to put a pond in. I learned how to put a waterfall in. It was the business end of it. Greg is the owner. Freaking phenomenal job. Chris was the head installer. Brian's there. Ed, the pond professor. I freaking love their team. Amazing team of people. And the information and what you get out of an Aquascape Academy training system, I'm doing a full video on it. It's that good. And if you guys are looking at it, I mean, I can't recommend it enough. I just can't. I really legitimately can't.
We try to focus on the training that you typically don't get, right? The business training, like you said, the back end, the stuff that's going to make you successful, whether it's in water features or any business, right? And that's kind of where we're at.
Hey, here's our basin hammers. These are the ones we typically use. What's your name, by the way?
My name's Joe.
Nice to meet you, Joe.
Nice to meet you.
These are the guys. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is explain the difference because some of these guys may have never used a dead blow hammer. I remember there was a time when I never used a dead blow hammer when I was first basing retaining walls. So a dead blow hammer, what it is a dead set. Can you pick your coffee cup up so I don't hit it? So if I hit this, no bounce. See that? No bounce. Let's hit it over here. If I use this, I would chip the concrete, but you'd also notice a ricochet, and that dead blow creates a settling effect as you lay the block in. So you hit the block, boom, and then instead of it bouncing and ricocheting back and getting any reflection or deflection, it settles and stops the block from moving. It's a better It's the right tool for the right job.
That's right.
You want to tell these guys what's inside of them? Because it looks like beanbag stuffing to me. I don't know the technical term. Heavy beanbag stuffing.
Yeah, it's like your basic number 6 or 7 kind of turkey shot. Bird shot. Yes, sir.
All right, so
if
you
you
do
gotta
break
reload
your
a
dead blow,
shotgun
grab a
shell.
couple shots, fill her back up and tape it up, and you're back in business.
Reload on the job. Yes, sir.
Very good. All right, cool. Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
buddy.
And that's Bond Tools. Okay, so Keith is showing us the Keystone column system, and this is called what?
This is going to be Stonegate.
Stonegate. Okay.
So it's a solid block, 6 inches high, 10 inches deep. It has 3 pinning holes.
Okay.
These are kind of plugged a little bit, but 3 pinning holes, and it has a pin with a shoulder on the top of it. I don't believe I have one of those.
But we're talking about a solid block pinned together. So this doesn't rely on adhesive.
Right. So you would, sure, I drop it all the way in there. But you drop
It's in
the
there.
pin,
We
and
believe
then
you.
It has a shoulder, and then on the bottom side there's a groove.
Okay.
That shoulder goes into. So with the 3 different pinning configurations, you can go vertical if you put the pin here, setback and setback. It's 2-faced. The block has face on both sides.
Is it 360 face or just 2 sides?
Just 2 sides.
Just 2,
And
okay.
Actually 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and you don't see the 3rd side. So it's flip them back and forth to align a straight wall, and if you're doing a retaining wall, it doesn't matter what the back looks like.
Okay.
So it's a trapezoidal shape that allows you to do that.
And that is the Keystone
It's going to be Stonegate Country Manor. Country Manor Stonegate.
Country Manor system. And you have a design manual for these?
Yep.
So if guys are looking at doing this, they can grab does your design manuals have anything with engineering? Because a lot of some of the other companies do have engineering designs that go with them that
It'll
help
give
guys.
you,
Oh, there we go.
it's got the basic design
there you go.
charts, basic engineering design stuff.
This is exactly what I learned on, and technically I learned it from Keystone. When I first got started, the first blocks I ever used for many years were all Keystone. So all of this engineering that I'm familiar with and I talk about today originally started from off from the Keystone system.
So yeah,
Cool. Well, thanks, Keith.
thanks, Stan.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
I'm Stan.
Ryan.
Nice to meet you,
pleasure.
Ryan.
How are you?
Good, thanks. So you do lighting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the company here is WAC Landscape Lighting. Talk about a hardscape light here for a second. Switch with me, and easy for me to operate the screwdriver with my right hand here. So this is our hardscape light, and what's neat about this particular fixture is you have the ability to adjust wattage, and you have the ability to adjust Kelvin temperature right in the fixture. So normally you're going to specify 2700 degrees or 3000 degrees Kelvin. If you get to a job site, you spec 2700. There's a chance maybe, okay, the material with the color, the texture, maybe it's going to turn out a little bit differently than you thought you want a different Kelvin temperature. You're going to take a Phillips head screwdriver. You're going to see these notches here. This is for Kelvin temperature. So what we're going to do, take your screwdriver. Right now this is on 2700. You're going to turn this and you'll see the light change.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are on 3000 degrees Kelvin.
Okay.
You also have the ability to adjust wattage. So this fixture goes from 4.5 to a half a watt. So right now we are on 4.5. We're going to change it all the way down to a half a watt. Where that comes into play, let's say somebody has a tiered wall. At the low point it's 3 feet. At the high point it could be 6-7 feet. At 3.5 feet, 4.5 watts is probably too powerful. You're going to overpower the plant material, you can overpower the walkway, so you adjust that to keep it in line with the rest of the wall. The best feature though about this particular fixture is we have a quick disconnection with a triple O-ring connection point.
Okay.
Let's say 10-15 years down the road, something happens, this fixture needs to be replaced.
Okay.
With a traditional light, you're going to rip the cap off, you're going to dig it up, you might have to pull out the wire. There's 2 screws here, it's hard to see here, but they're right here. I took them out ahead of time. You are just going to pop this off, and then you can replace this light if anything were to happen without having to rip off caps and destroy the wall that's already previously been built.
What is it called?
This is WAC landscape lighting. This is just our standard 6-inch wall light.
Okay. And where would they find it at? Is there a website or anything?
So yeah, if you go to www.waclandscapelighting.com, we're based out of Long Island, New York. Multiple shipping facilities throughout the country, but all the fixtures and SKUs and everything can be found right there online.
All right. Thank you.
You got it, man. My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, I interrupted you before. What do you got going on over here?
Well, I manufacture the Speedy Mason composite panel in Sparta, Wisconsin, and then we also import King Clinker thin brick from Poland.
Yeah!
So our Speedy Mason panel, like I mentioned, it's a composite panel. The panels come 16 inches tall, either 48 inches long or 96 inches long. Once the first panel is on, the next panel just tongues grooves, locks right into each other. My fastening points are here, 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 and here. So I'm going to fasten every 8 inch on center. Has over 300 pounds per square foot pull-out strength. So very, very strong. So once this is on the wall, it's not going to come off the wall. And then I'm going to use a polymer modified mortar. I'm going to scratch coat over the top of this panel. I'm going to use these legs, and I'm going to stick my brick in there. So all the legs are going to course everything out to 3/8 of an inch bed joint all the way up.
You've eliminated that nasty wire mesh that cuts people's fingers up.
Can you touch this? You cut yet? No.
No.
You would be if I hand you a piece of wire mesh or something like that. So yeah, I can cut it with a circular saw. I can score it with a utility knife and snap it. It's really, really easy.
Why don't you just go into like the big box stores and just sell this?
Because we go through our distribution networks like King's Material and others like that. And I mean, we could, but
I mean, this is the magic right here, right? Because you can, if the guys have this, they can put any facade on that they wanted to at that point, couldn't they?
Yep. Yeah, you can use any thin brick with it. So
I mean, is this your thin brick?
This is our thin brick. Yes, this is the King Clinker thin brick. That's what they specialize in thin. So
where does this go? Building facades mostly?
Exterior and interior. So we have a couple of different systems we can do. This is actually pretty cool because this is what we call our Ultra Speed. So this is a special sized thin brick that fits right into our panel. So what we'll do is we'll scratch coat over, and then we'll just stick these brick in, and it'll give you a nice little joint here, and you don't necessarily have to fill that in with mortar. So this takes about half the time as something like this.
I hate these.
Yeah, that sucks. That's the worst part of it.
Oh, God.
So, like we did some research on it to see, how much faster we could go if we didn't have to do any of the banging and grouting.
Oh, don't tell me. 3 or 4 times faster.
It's 3 or 4 times faster. Yeah. It's about 14 square feet an hour for this, and it's about 34 square feet an hour.
Twice as fast.
Twice as fast.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 about.
Yeah.
So when you can eliminate bagging, one of my YouTube videos is how to bag and strike thin brick, and I have thousands of views on just that.
Do you have a YouTube video on how to clean up the mess as you go too? Because that's the crappiest part. Because as soon as you do this, because you build from the top, from the bottom up, and then you inevitably spill. And then you're scrubbing, and then you're fixing your grout lines.
Right. So with this, with bagging and striking, you got to wait for that mortar to dry up enough for thumbprint ready, right?
Yeah.
So when I strike this off, it should be relatively dry.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be smearing down your brick. If it is, you're striking it too soon.
Okay. Where do you guys find this?
You will find this at King's Material, and we produce it in Sparta, Wisconsin, and the brick comes from Poland, and we import that.
Again. All right.
Right on.
Thank you, sir.
Nice meeting you, man.
Nice meeting you. You're my number one?
Yeah.
I guess you are. I've signed that cap for you twice, kiddo. Thanks for coming today. What's your name?
Jake.
And what's your dad's name?
Chad.
Where are you guys from?
Bellevue, Iowa.
What do I say at the end of every video?
God bless and go get them.
Thank you, sir. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. God bless, go get 'em. Thanks for tuning in, you guys.